Hi, Michelle here. In today's video, I thought that I would take a look at 5 Hoyas that do well in low humidity environments. Now, the reason why I wanted to talk about this subject is I live in a desert. I live in Las Vegas, Nevada, and here humidity, if it reaches 30%, that's considered high humidity here. Normally we're in the 10% range. So I have cabinets behind me. You probably can't see there's a detail right here, there's a detail right here, but the rest of my plants, they're open to the ambient room environment, and I do not use humidifiers. I did early in my plant career, I guess you could say, but I don't use humidifiers now. So I've had to learn what Hoyas do well in lower humidity and what just stop totally. I will say that early in my Hoya collecting, I thought that all Hoyas would just not grow at all if they didn't have some sort of humid environment to grow. That was my mistake. They do need humidity to grow fast, but they don't need humidity to grow and thrive. So I have 5 Hoyas today that you'll see grow quite well in low humidity environments. If you like today's video, I'd really appreciate it if you give me a thumbs up to let me know that you like today's content. If you'd like to see other plant-related content like this, I'd hope you consider subscribing to my channel. And if you'd like to contribute to the conversation, please put a comment below. I'd like to interact with my comment section, so I'll get back to you. And now, on with the first Hoya. The first Hoya is kind of my OG Hoya to be out in the ambient humidity conditions. And this is my latifolia outer variegated. This plant originally was on a 3-foot tall bamboo trellis, and it got too tall and then it got root mealies. So I had to chop it up into pieces. So these are the pieces that are left. It's in a 6-inch pot in pond. Let's check out the roots. I don't see anything yet. This plant has always been out in the open. I was moving it around and I chopped like 3 of the leaves. I chopped like this leaf right here that you can see that's missing the leaf. I broke like 3 leaves, so it definitely was angry at me. What I'm probably going to do is I'm probably going to cut some of these tendrils off that aren't doing anything to see if they will do something once I cut them off, to see if it spurs growth further down the stem. You can see the leaves are very large. This leaf down here, if you see the size of my hand in comparison, it's really large. I've never known this plant to not grow in low humidity conditions. So my first Hoya is this latifolia outer variegated. The next plant is another large one, and this is my Hoya vitellinoides. And I just saw this. This is a new leaf that was stuck up against this leaf right here. So it got damaged. So I'm gonna have to cut that one. But as you see, this Hoya has very large leaves, size. I have an 11-inch long leaf right here. If you look on the back, there's plenty of leaves on the back too. If we take a look at the pot, there's starting to be some roots come out. which looks good. This is a new leaf right here. Let me show you. This is on the back of the plant. This new leaf right here is new, and there's a new growth tip right there. Right there. I've never had a problem with this plant growing in lower light conditions. It seems to always want to grow. It's producing leaves on a pretty regular basis. The second Hoya that definitely will grow without high humidity is the vitellinoides. The next plant is one of the perennial favorites of people, and this is the sunrise. I love the sunrise. This sunrise for me started as a single stem of about 12 leaves. It had about 6 or 7 nodes to it. But I grew this and I cut it and then I regrew it again, and I just chopped and propped it all the way until it finally grew to what it is today. When I put it on this tall trellis, I had to move it out of the cabinet for good. But before then, it was in the Mills bow behind me. This plant does not need high humidity to grow. As you can see by this little clip holding these tendrils in the front, this does not need high humidity to grow because this is actively growing while outside the cabinet. It also has lots of peduncles. It has not bloomed for me outside the cabinet yet, but I know it will. It just has to finish getting used to it. These are this is the pot with the roots, and those are some huge roots right there. Some very large roots. And if you look in the pot, in the net pot, you can see some nice looking roots. This was just repotted in one of my earlier videos. I'll have to link it up here. So this one's doing really well. This one's acclimating well to the room humidity, and it's doing really well. As you can tell, it's not suffering one little bit. So the sunrise also doesn't need high humidity to grow and thrive. This is my surigaoensis, and this is kind of my original large plant that was put out on the open shelving to kind of sink or swim, so to speak. Because as you can see, this plant is very large. I need to do something with some of these stems now, like this one could really use a grabbing, so I'm gonna do that real fast. Maybe not. There, we'll go like that. So this Hoya, as you can see, is bulky but kind of unwieldy. So when this plant got too big for the cabinet behind me, I knew I had to put it out. It's had some bumps in the road, but as you can see, it's grown leaves at the top, which is near the grow light, quite well. These are all new leaves since it's been out of the cabinet. So it's grown. They're nicely shaped. They're not distorted too much. This one needs to be dusted off. They're not distorted very much. They're kind of small. Let's check the roots. The roots look great. Very solid looking root system. But this Hoya has been out of the cabinet for about maybe a little over a year now. So it's growing consistently over that year. So the surigaoensis definitely will not give you any problem growing outside of the cabinet. The last plant, I saved my favorite for last. This is my Rebecca. And as you can see from this, it is in bloom. So this should definitely tell you that this Hoya definitely has no problems growing outside the cabinet. This is actually half of the plant. The other half of the plant is by the front door. It doesn't have any peduncles, so it's not blooming, but I'm hoping that it will soon. This plant just, it's in coconut husk, and as you can see, its roots are very, very nicely formed. Need to get some more water in there. It's in straight coconut husk. This is my only plant I have in straight coconut husk. It really enjoys that. What happened with this plant, why I have it in two, is this plant I had on a much smaller pot. And I took it out, and it was all wrapped around this, and it was a very massive plant. But unfortunately, with the cocoa husk, I dried it out too much and I rotted it. And so all the leaves on this turned really thin. I didn't want to give up on the root ball of the plant because I knew that there were still good roots in the plant. So what I did was I cut off everything that was really thin and kept the leaves that were still thick. And because I knew that those still had viable roots on them. And then I cut up the rest of the plant, and that's what I have another plant of. Those cuttings made another plant. So this one, I literally just kind of kept it, just watered it and didn't do anything with it for about 2 months. And then it recovered, started to grow again. About 3 months afterwards, it started to bloom again. So the Rebecca has absolutely no problems in the lowest of the low humidity conditions in your home. I can tell you that this will grow and thrive and bloom in your house, no matter what humidity level you have. Thank you for taking a look at these 5 Hoyas with me today. These Hoyas that will survive and grow and even bloom in low humidity environments. I hope that you learn some plants that you can also keep. Like I said, mine is as low as you can go, almost. And I have these Hoyas that do very well for me. So I think they will for you. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. And until next time, have a wonderful day. Goodbye.